Hey there, you, me, and DC fans, and welcome if you're new. I am the stepson of Krypton.
And I'm Mantis.
See, that wasn't so hard. And today we are talking about that's an inside joke, guys. We are talking about more James Gunn news. This time it is about all of the new rumors slash also things that he has talked about himself and he has either confirmed or kind of done his kind of vague responses James Gunn likes to do. So we thought after with the release of Peacemaker season 2 and all of the new little tidbits we've gotten, we'd break some of that down. Mantis, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, then let's go. All right, guys. So, Peacemaker season 2, episode 1 has come out. Now, we are recording this on a Thursday, which actually episode 2 will release tonight. Don't know when I'm going to end up releasing this, but we didn't do an initial video on it. Mantis has still yet to see it, so we're not going to really cover that many spoilers. We're going to be very, very, very selective in what we say. But we do know, he knows because he sent me the picture of it, and I was like, I already seen the episode, that one of the big things James Gunn did, and a lot of the news was he kind of retconned out the DCEU, and he did it in a pretty clever way.
It's late, you fucking dickheads.
What a meathead.
Screw that guy. You know, he tells people I'm a puke freak.
Mantis, you saw the picture at least. What were your thoughts on it?
I think it was fine. Because here's the thing, like that scene at the end of season 1 was one of the big reveals, right? Because when that scene first happens, of course they show up late, right? And Peacemaker's carrying it, and he's like, "Way to show up late," right? Like, I mean, and at first you just see the shadows of them, right? And you're like, "Oh, okay, they were cheapskates and didn't get the actors in there." And well, they were kind of cheapskates. They only got Aquaman and
Yeah,
Ezra Miller and yeah, I was gonna say his name. I forget
Jason
the name.
Momoa.
Yeah, Jason Momoa. They got both of those guys to do their characters for that last 15 seconds or whatever it is. I thought it was funny. Again, you get to see that side of both those guys being assholes to each other. Makes sense in this movie. Quite easily fits in there, or movie, into the show. And yeah, so then he kind of did the same thing essentially, because you still see the shadowed figures there, and then you have hot girl is there, and who
Guy
else is
Gardner.
talks? Yeah, I got Nathan Fillion both there. Yeah, both talking. So I thought it was fine. Like, I thought it was good. And yeah, again, like I said, if you're going to do it, that scene was very popular. There's a lot of, even, I'm sure you guys know this if you're watching this, there's reactions of that all over YouTube of that scene specifically. So yeah, I didn't have a problem with it. I think it easily fixes. It's like, no, we're not going to do some dumb like storyline of this and that. No, we're just going to refilm it. Yeah. So
Well, and I like that, they had that little, between Guy and Hot Girl, they were talking about Peacemaker, and it kind of relates to what happens in the first episode. Not going to go into it just for Mantis's sake, but I thought it was a good way to kind of do that, and I also think it didn't go because if you watch previous videos, we had talked about, oh, are they going to do it where it's and I know they're kind of heading into this multi-universal kind of thing, but they didn't go that route with it. So I was kind of glad just to see it was a quick, you didn't have to spend 10 minutes setting up. I mean, it was 10-15 seconds, boom, done. DCU is gone. So, but what it does kind of illustrate is how James Gunn he's really fond of working with actors he's worked with previously and he's had good experiences with. And if he likes you, he will find a way to work you into these other projects, because we know obviously Peacemaker and his wife, Harcourt, all of them, they've made it into the new DCU coming from the DCEU. But he's also talked about other characters potentially coming out from the DCEU, but still playing their same characters in the DCU. One of which is Bloodsport, played by Idris Elba in the Suicide Squad movie. I thought he did an amazing job. It'd be kind of cool. I know he's really working on how he could bring him, and of course, Margot Robbie playing Harley Quinn, how he could bring a couple of those characters back. And we've also done other videos where we talked about. I don't know who else you get for Harley Quinn now. Everybody just she's kind of like survived multiple retcons because they did the original Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey, and that one bombed. So they kind of did a remake / somewhat of a reboot. A couple of the characters did come over, but she has always made it through. So it'd be cool to see her survive.
Yeah, Idris Elba, like Idris Elba always gets thrown around, and I don't know why. Like, I love the guy. Like, he's great. He played great in the Marvel universe, just fine. It's always like, oh, we need a black dude to play this. Idris Elba or Chadwick Boseman. Like, it's like always the same people. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I like Idris Elba. Like, I think he would be fine. I mean, he, like you said, I think he did great in the remake of Suicide, or we'll just call it James Gunn's Suicide. Yeah. And exactly with Margot Robbie, I mean, this, like, Harley Quinn is not an original Batman character. Harley Quinn was made in the animated series, and it's such a popular character from that. The way even Margot Robbie plays her is to a T how she talks. That Long Island accent, New York accent is still there. She does a great job playing that character. Even through I thought she was great in the original Suicide Squad. She was great in the remake. I don't see why you wouldn't bring her back. She knows how to play the character. Those films, the first film not doing as well as it did, was not because of her. And she only added to what I thought, the remake Suicide Squad was pretty good. I thought she added to that just as well. And I think she would be great, bringing her into the DCU. Yeah, I mean, he's a fan of bringing other characters back, and we were talking about this earlier, and I'm sure you want to kind of touch on the Batman type of possible Batmans. We did videos on this before, but again,
go ahead.
Yeah,
I was
no, yeah. I mean, it's like, there are certain people he likes to work with, even from the Marvel universe. One that he invited to the set of Superman, even we did a little short video on that, and talking about Pratt. Yeah, Chris Pratt. So I don't know. He mentioned, you said this. He mentioned he will not be Batman.
So yes, he did actually confirm that that Chris Pratt will not be Batman. Now, and this could just be me. Mantis, let me know if I'm freaking crazy. What time we're at? I could be fucking crazy. I don't have to bleep it. I could be crazy, but the one thing that got me is he said he's going to be something else. Now, what kind of caught my mind in that, and maybe it's just me, but I always think about Arrow when he's like, I have to be someone else. I have to be something else.
But to do that without endangering the people closest to me, I have to be someone else. I have to be something else.
Right? And we know here, it was just like 2 weeks ago, there was talks about, and he said he would like to bring Green Arrow into the DCU. So that kind of made me think, like, are we going to have him as an Oliver Queen? You could see him kind of playing the playboy. Now, like with Batman, I'd struggle to see Chris Pratt as like a billionaire, like genius businessman, right? He just there are certain things I just don't know that he'd pull off, as well as other actors. Plus, I don't think he has quite the physicality. He is tall, but it'd be interesting because when he said just something else, my mind immediately went to Green Arrow after watching 8 seasons of that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just reaching.
No. I mean, like, again, those who know, right? Like, I don't think he just says things to say them, right? I mean, James Gunn knows what he's doing. I feel like that's on purpose. I feel like he said that exactly that way on purpose. And let's just say he was hinting at a Green Arrow casting for Chris Pratt. I think he'll be fine as Green Arrow. As the hero Green Arrow, I think he would do fine. Here's the thing: when you see someone play so many roles and iconic roles, like when I see Chris Pratt it is Star-Lord, or it is literally Andy making fart jokes on Parks and Rec.
Kim Kardashian.
Kim, well,
In the video, she gets cum on her back, I think.
That's what if he's got to be like serious Oliver Queen, because like in the Arrowverse, when Stephen Amell plays Oliver, he's very stoic and he's very calm, and the way his mannerisms, it's like I see the same scene with Chris Pratt doing that, and then he's just like, and yes, Mom, I told you I would be there, and then it just lets off a big fart rip or something like, and just I for some reason I can't get it out of my head, you know. And we've made this mistake before. I'll end with this and let you go. I did this personally with the Joker in The Dark Knight. When I was looking at Heath Ledger, I was like, "There's no way he's gonna." I see him singing in
10 Things I Hate About You.
Things I Hate About You. Yeah, when he's singing in the football field, like that's what I see when he, you know, in that. I couldn't see him as playing Joker, and then he just does it, and you're like, holy shit, I was completely fucking wrong.
Well, here's the thing on that is with Arrow was designed to kind of make it seem like he was Batman, right? They took him a lot darker than normal Arrow. And, you know, even with the villains, with Ra's al Ghul coming in there and some of the other villains he had, like, they were trying to make it kind of Batman-esque without being Batman. So I don't know that you necessarily have to have as dark of an Arrow. Now, I know, and it was kind of weird because the first couple episodes, I felt like they were trying to make him like a Tony Stark-ish billionaire guy where he was, you know, joking around and trying to act all like a drunken, you know, dumbass. But then he was being Arrow because there was like the part where he's like, I'm thinking the invitation reads, "Come before Oliver Queen gets off," you know, when he's getting arrested.
Burning Man meets Shawshank Redemption. The invite says, "Come before Oliver Queen gets off."
There was that like scene where like he's trying to act that way, but then by like the 5th episode, they just disbanded that. They didn't even bother with that anymore. He was just this darker Oliver Queen Arrow guy. So maybe he could. I don't know. That's not what I see Chris Pratt as. I'm looking at Chris Pratt as a Booster Gold. I'm looking at Chris Pratt as maybe, and I'll give you this because I know James Gunn has talked about it, and it'd be a character I would love to see come into the DCU, especially when you think about these teams like with Ultraman and things. I would love to see Captain Atom. I could see him playing, you know, Nathaniel. I could see it. It could go either way, but like characters like that, not necessarily Batman. Whereas I want to see like an Alan Richardson. I want to see somebody who's got that physicality right now. I mean, the dude is jacked playing Reacher. And, you know, I know a lot of the people watching or hopefully watching have loved the Absolute, and we have absolutely loved the Absolute Batman. But he is a big cock diesel motherfucker, like 400 pounds. Just, I mean, he is a unit. Now, granted, it's not really kind of holding up to Bane right now, but because he's even bigger, but he is that. And you want to see that physicality that I just don't know that we get from Chris Pratt.
Well, so, and again, I glossed over this as well, but you saying Alan Richardson reminded me of, you know, he played Aquaman in Smallville, but it was also Justin Hartley that played Arrow in the Smallville universe. And he was nothing like Stephen Amell's Oliver Queen at all.
Which Justin Hartley played Aquaman in the failed series that they tried to go. So
it's so much incestuous shit going on here. So
and that's right up James Gunn's alley with wanting to always bring his family into things, right? Is there's always this nepotism. There's always this interwoven of we got to have all of his siblings in these and cousins because, you know, I know Mark is like, I think, a cousin, and he's coming to these. But again, he's proven that he loves to work with actors that he has worked with before. If we go back to, I know there's the specials is like in early 2000, I think, where he was a producer or a co-producer on it, where it was this group of like a superhero team, but they weren't the first. They were like the 8th or 7th or 8th, and they're trying to find their place in the world. But like, I think the first superhero movie he was a writer on, and guys, correct me and feel free to just do it nicely in the comments. You know, that I think it was Super that had Rainn Wilson, Dwight, everybody knows from the American version of The Office, who has also, that was in a recent article as well, approached James Gunn wanting to play Plastic Man which is like his character there, which I think would be awesome. I see Thor back
Mhm.
there.
Sorry guys about that. He's wanting me to play with him. He's got his hammer stuck behind this computer over here, and I'm not getting it for him.
He's the only one that
Anyway.
can lift it, though.
Yeah,
But in that movie also, you had Sean Gunn in there again.
Mhm.
You also had Nathan Fillion and Michael Rooker, who was in. Obviously, both of them were in the Suicide Squad movie as
Suicide
well.
Squad, yeah.
Granted, they die at the very beginning of it. They're in there, but then you go to things like Brightburn. Another kind of superhero, Superman, the dark kind of. Everybody always believed it was going to be like Earth 3 Superman, Ultraman ish. But
Mhm.
as a kid, where you have his wife Jennifer Holland, she's in that movie, and actually I didn't even realize. I had to go back and rewatch it that she's in that movie, right? And then you have the David Denman, however you say his name, the dad of the movie. He's Peacemaker's brother, and that's the only spoiler you get, man. Sorry. But he's Peacemaker's brother. But then Economos, he's in Brightburn as well as Michael Rooker's in there at the end, kind of being the crazy journalist guy. And then Jackson Dunn, who plays Brandon in that movie, he shows up in the Endgame as the young Scott Lang. So Gunn is very, very used to and loves casting people he has worked with before, because you go with what you know, right? And who is going to do a great job. And obviously, Nathan Fillion and all those people went through the Guardians movies. Go ahead.
Yeah, and if you already have someone in mind when you're casting, because I don't know, I've just heard writers talk about this previously, about they have people in mind when they're writing these characters, right? So when James Gunn is writing these characters, he has people in mind, and he's taking that from the people that he's worked through or worked for or worked with previously. So I mean, it's only natural that's like, well, I'm envisioning, like you said, Rainn Wilson as Plastic Man. So I'm going to write it in. I'm going to write the jokes and the mannerisms of, Dwight or something esque like that of how Rainn Wilson acts and how he would approach it. And when you do that, you can also bounce ideas off those people too, which I don't know. Like I said, again, we talk to James on an occasional basis sometimes, but I haven't talked to him in a while. So next time I will ask him. Yeah, I'll ask him. Yeah, our shilling has gone down apparently. So
comment. I love that they deleted it after they said it. And we're like, we pay to do this. We don't make any money off this channel. We pay monthly to do this channel. What it costs us.
Yeah.
But it's all right. Now, we didn't delete the comment. They deleted it themselves after we said that, because and again, I get it. Like, we were trying to be supportive of the Superman movie. People thought, oh, we were just, rah James Gunn. As long as he keeps putting out good stuff, we're going to be behind him. And thus far, he's not put out anything that I don't like. Right. So I can't hate on the guy. Again, I don't give a shit what your political beliefs are, all this stuff. None of that should be in the movie. Right. And I know there are going to be people that argue it was in the Superman movie, but I don't see any of that, because I don't go into my movies looking for that. I don't go into my movies. If I'm watching a movie for entertainment purposes, I'm not going into it looking for reasons to hate on it. When you slap me in the fucking face with it, that's a different story, but I don't feel like he's done any of that.
Right.
Personal opinion. Yeah. Hate on it if you
want.
Yeah,
I agree. And again, so far, the nepotism works for him. So if he keeps putting out, if he keeps writing these characters the way for the actors that he wants to play them, and they keep going for it, then I say do it, because I think it makes it easier writing. Like you mentioned, it's more efficient. It's easier to act. It's easier to direct it. I'm fine with it as long as it's good. It's whatever. It's as long as it's good.
I know a couple people from my work are actually subscribed to the channel, so this is kind of for them. But the only more nepotism I've seen than James Gunn films and shows is at my actual primary job. That's probably about the only time I've seen more nepotism. So most people won't get that joke. With the people that I work with, you will get that. I don't think it'll get me in trouble. If it does, I don't care. Yeah, it's rough, but I think they work well in it. And I think, like when you see, Sean Gunn playing Maxwell Lord, and you see him in Peacemaker, the first episode at least, I think it works, right? They do the parts well, so I don't think it's forced. So
yeah,
I don't know. A lot of news now, similar to what we were going to, and what I was trying to allude to at the very beginning. We had to redo the intro on this because I kind of fucked it up a little bit. But was we were doing before the Superman movie released was a lot of, especially like 6 months and 8 months into before the movie release. We did a lot of videos about the rumors and everything James Gunn had to debunk and say wasn't true. I feel like now we're kind of back into that, right? Now the movie's released, all these new projects are getting ready to release or in production. We're getting a lot of rumors now, so we're kind of back to those videos. I just didn't express that so eloquently at the very beginning. We had to repeat the intro a little bit. So if you want to see our full length discussion to that, where you will see what I cut out, well, you're shit out of luck. We don't have a Patreon, so you can't do that. But what you can do, if you have been here with us, is go ahead and give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, because I cut out all the bullshit for you so you don't have to watch it. And trust me, you don't want to watch all like full like uncut react. No, we it's all for free for you right here, because it annoys the shit out of me. Like, you know how many times I have to cut myself saying out of these videos? You don't want to see that, right? So you get the edited version down here for you. And if you have your bell notifications clicked, I know we're asking for a lot right now for all this free content we put out for you guys. But if you have the bell notification clicked, you will get alerted as we continue to put out all of these James Gunn rumor videos, because it's only going to increase from here, guys.
Yeah.
So, Mantis, do you and Thor he left frame, but do you and Thor have anything else you would like to add?
It's under my feet right now. I just wanted to mention this, and I know you've got a couple of videos that are about to release here. Again, kind of jumping on the back of the bell notification, guys. You really should do that, especially for the massive uptick of new subscribers that we have, because we are getting a lot of views on our comic book series. And if you, like us, love the Absolute Universe stuff that Cal had mentioned earlier in this video, please check out the playlist we have for those. You don't have to buy them. We bought them. Cal did surgery to be able to scan them in so that you can actually just see the pages there, and we go over them and provide some insight on them. It's great stuff. All the Absolute stuff we have on there, and we're going to keep pumping those out as long as you guys keep watching them and enjoy it. My only ask is, keep commenting, and let us know if there's any other ones that you want us to do.
Yeah. Now, again, at the time of recording, the next Absolute Batman is getting ready to release. Mantis did an amazing job on that, because there was a lot. That was a dense issue. So there was a lot to go through that. So be on the lookout for that. Again, it should probably be released before this, just because we really like that one, and you guys seem to as well. So
yeah, that's a sneak peek. That one's about Bane's origin story, which you guys know I'm not a dig on the origin stories in movies. However, this one's really good, and it's in comic book format. It's really good. You guys, you should check it out. It's gonna
the fuck was that? However, like, you sounded like a something off of a TV show or something.
However,
it worked though. It worked for that purpose. All right, guys, before we go off the rails here, that is going to do it for us on this episode of You, Me, and DC. Until next time, guys, we'll see you then.
Later.
I'm sorry. However, it worked though, man. I love that. If I could record that, I'm gonna I'm gonna have that as a sound effect. Let me go ahead and end this.